Hey everybody, my name is LaPrecious and welcome to my channel. Let's talk with LaPrecious. So today I'm going to be doing a YouTube video about the Orisha Yemaya and the connection that me and her have based on the dream that I had. Okay, so about 2 nights ago, I had a dream where I was pregnant. Now, lately, I want to say this is the third dream that I've had hey, beautiful magic. This is like the third dream that I've had where I've been pregnant or where I've had a child. And there was always a message in it. It always went back to what my thoughts were or what I said and whatnot. So, anyways, I'm about to make the connection. So, I remember in this dream that I was in my room and I was pregnant. And I remember the doctor had told me, he said, like, your baby is like nesting like on the side of your stomach. And, all you got to do is just, let your fluids flow and whatnot when your water breaks and your baby is just going to slip right out. And I'm like, well, okay. And it's like I was in my room, I remember, and I felt like the mucus plug come out. And so the mucus plug that came out, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my God, I'm about to have a baby. And it's like I just kept holding it in because I'm literally like in my room, no hospital, no baby bag, no nothing. I'm just in my room standing and I'm like, my water just broke and I'm about to have this baby. And I was so scared in the dream to push because, childbirth can be painful. Like we've seen it on YouTube videos. I remember a long time ago, TLC used to have this birthing special. I think it was called Birth Baby something. When I was younger, I used to watch it. I used to watch it because I wanted kids when I was a child and everything. So I'm like, let's see what having a baby is like. It is what it is, but that's how we got here. Your mama either pushed you out or they had to cut you out. I got cut out, so that's that. But yeah, it's like in the dream, I didn't want to push because a baby story. Yeah, that's what it was called. And it's like I didn't want to push in the dream because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna hurt, and this is gonna be so painful. And then like not too long after the mucus plug came out, my water really broke. It's like blood, everything. I'm like, okay, I'm about to have this baby. And I'm like, I gotta get out this house. I gotta get to a hospital and I gotta have this baby. And little did I know, I could have pushed my baby out in my room after all my inside stuff came out from the amniotic sac. But it's like in the dream, I was just so scared of like the pain and the blood and then not knowing what to do and how my baby was. And even in the dream, I wasn't married and I didn't have a boyfriend or nothing. So it's like the way I was in real life, I was like that in the dream. And it's kind of sad. And I have to change the way that I think because I used to say a long time ago that I'm past the age where I should have had kids already and should have been married. I'm 26, and when I was a teen, I always pictured myself being married and having kids at a young age. Because I remember I used to want to be married by like 21 and 22 and have kids and be married and just have this, big grand house with a car and house and all of that. And it didn't happen like that because I didn't really know how life worked and, the operation of flow when it comes to love and relationships and having kids. And so it's like in each of my dreams while I've been pregnant, the man that I was with left and I didn't find out I was pregnant until after he left, or I would already have the child and I would be raising the kid on my own with little to no help from anybody. Or like in this third dream, I was pregnant and I was just scared to like push the baby out. And it's like when I got outside the house and I was going with somebody, the person in the dream, and this wasn't a man I was with, it was a family member, and they didn't even want to help me have the baby or help me find a place to have the baby and whatnot. And I was scared in the dream when I woke up because I'm like, this baby probably dead in me from being in there so long with no amniotic fluid and stuff helping it go. So I just woke up from the dream because I didn't even want to imagine myself going through that pain and stuff having a baby in the dream. And sometimes in my dreams, yes, fear of change. And sometimes in my dreams, I can feel stuff. Like I done had dreams where I done fell and scraped my knee and I felt it in my sleep, where I done been shot and I felt it like I don't want to feel that kind of thing having a baby in real life. So that was that. But anyways, it's kind of funny how I had that dream about me being pregnant and the fluid coming out and me being scared to push, and I did an ancestral reading Let me get it out my book. And I did an ancestry reading on myself, and the Yemaya card came out. And I actually had Yemaya confirmed in two of my readings, one in my ancestry reading and another one in my general reading with another deck that I use. But yeah, when you look at this Yemaya picture, it's just like how I was in the dream. It's like I'm standing there with the baby in my belly, and then it's like the fluid is coming out. And in this deck, this Yemaya card represents new beginnings, new ideas. I had this crazy dream that I had cut off my own leg. My leg fell. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like your brain. My thing is, it's like our brain. It's amazing how our brain just connects to our brain is a manifester within itself. It's like whatever we think, it happens. It happens with dreams. It happens with, everyday life. It's like you can fear, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna fall. Then eventually you end up falling. You're like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. Then eventually you're gonna be late. And they say in the Bible, so a man thinketh, so is he. And there's some truth to that because if you keep thinking something is going to happen, it's going to happen. But if you keep thinking to yourself, I'm never going to do anything, never going to be anything, never going to have anybody, you're going to manifest it. And so, yeah, so it's like before I had that dream, I had pulled some cards on myself in a general reading, the ancestry reading, and I got the Yemaya card. And the Yemaya card, as I mentioned before, in this deck represents change, new ideas, and planning and whatnot. And as you can tell, the baby is there, the amniotic fluid is coming out, but it's like she's still pregnant, and that's how I was in the dream. And so I'm like, I need, and the way that I connected to myself is that not only do I need to stop being scared of change, but I need to stop being scared of moving forward and letting go. Like that's what I got from it the most because sometimes instead of it being other people holding us back, it can be ourselves holding us back because it's amazing how like even with the coronavirus how this virus within itself has caused like a worldwide change. It's caused changes in people's attitudes and people's finances and people's jobs and the way people eat and the way people see themselves and the way we manage money and the way that we operate and move. And it's just amazing how this worldwide disease or this virus has changed everything. And I feel like a lot of us, even in the midst of all of this, have gone through a spiritual awakening, a spiritual change, and just so many different, like, just so many different manifestations of different things. And so it's like with this dream and me and myself, it pretty much just told me like I need to stop being scared of the unknown. I need to stop being afraid of moving forward. I need to stop being afraid of worrying about what's going to happen next or how bad this is going to hurt or how bad this is going to affect me or what other people are going to say about me. Your dream told you to push yourself. If not, a part of you will die instead of live to fruition. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too, because that's pretty much what I got from it. And see, because the part that you said that if not, a part of you will die, like the baby in my dream. Because the thing is, I don't want to continue being in that dream, knowing that my amniotic fluid had left, the mucus plug had left, and the only thing left to push out was the baby. And I had been holding that baby in for so long that it could have died or been mentally impaired. Because in real life, women who don't push out babies in the right timing or when the head, is stuck in your hoo ha or wedged in your hoo ha too long, the baby can suffocate and lose oxygen. And babies have died or ended up mentally challenged because of that. And I just didn't want to continue living in the dream knowing what the outcome of my baby was going to be. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened in the dream. And I feel like with Yemaya, by her showing up in my dreams and whatnot, by her showing up in my readings and whatnot. And I'll show you guys the other card that came up too in my reading. Sounds like you have a lot of ideas. I do. I have so many ideas like flourishing through my head. And I'm even like moving further in my spiritual journey, which is what I'm so happy about. But I'm going to show you guys this next card in my deck that I have of Yemaya. But yeah, Yamaya, she showed up twice in my readings. And I really needed to connect with Yamaya because she not only represents, new ideas and mothering and nurturing, but she represents communication, like bridging the gap between two different parties and forces. And that's why I even set up an altar for her in my room. And I'm going to turn my camera around and show you guys my altar because, I needed to talk to her. She's a good mother to people that need moms or people who need somebody to talk to, but she's a good mediator where she can like ease the waters and ease the tension between, people, especially when it comes to communications and relationships. And it's also amazing how Yamaya is Shango's mom. Like if you guys know the Orishas, you'll know Shango is like the hothead, the machismo, the macho man. And they have another name for him like Shango Macho that people use when they want to manifest like money and success and luck and stuff. Like sweet little Yamaya, who's like the mother of the waters, and she's so pristine and pretty and sweet. Like that's Shango's mom. So so yeah, like that's Shango's mom. But yeah, she's really good at like communication and everything. They have his movie on Amazon. They got a movie about Shango. I didn't know that. Okay, I'm trying to find this card for y'all. It's a lot of cards in this deck. The god of male virility. Yes. And Shango is not only powerful in like Santeria or Lukumi, but he's popular like all over the islands. Like he's actually the patron god or like the patron spirit of Trinidad and Tobago. So yeah, like Trinidadians, the reason why they say some people, some Trinidadian people are crazy, got that fire, like maybe they got that from Shango, because Shango is like the ruler of Trinidad and Tobago. He loves women as well. Yes, he's a womanizer. And you guys know I found out that Shango sees me as like his lover. Like if you guys don't know, like the Orishas can actually claim you as like their woman. Like they did with the Orishas when they were like human and even when they became like Orisha spirits and stuff. Orishas can claim you as well. And I found out in a reading that I got that Shango sees me as his lover. And I'm like, really? Like I didn't know that. I didn't know they could do that. But yeah, Orishas they can claim you as their woman. But Shango and Shango is and Shango's not well. Yeah. Let me see. I'll just say Shango is a great spirit and he's a great person. And he can help you out with a lot. Because usually when I do rituals with Shango, I mainly use him for men that I work with and stuff, as opposed to like women. Because since he's such a masculine spirit, so yeah, that's what I use him for. You have to find the movie. What's the movie called? Is it called Shango? And is it just Shango, or is it like something else along with it? Because I've read like recent articles about the Orishas and stuff, and they've said like the Orishas have made it into like mainstream, cinema. They said they have like, how they have like Power Rangers? They said they have Power Rangers in the Orisha form. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then you have like the singing group with the two women called Oshun. And then I remember reading in like Latina magazine a long time ago that there was a group of like two sisters that were like Afro Cubans, and I think they talked about the Orishas. Then there was this male group. Their name is called Orishas because I found them a long time ago. Their name is Orishas, and I remember they had a song called Arquilo and Orishas, and what was that? Ayun Son. Yeah, Ayun Son. That was a popular name of theirs because it was like a black guy. All of them were Cuban, but it was like a black guy, and it was like a tall Spanish guy with like a beard, and then there was like this this mixed guy who had like green eyes, and he was like the rapper. So the Orishas, they've been known for a while, but they're known all over now. They made it on American Gods. I love that group. American Gods? What's that? Is that like a singing group or what kind of group is it? Let me look up American Gods. Okay, so I found the card that's in my deck. Like this is Yemaya. So when I was pulling, let me dim my light a little bit so you guys can see this thing. Okay, my light doesn't change. Let me just turn it off. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now you guys can see it a lot better. Yeah, this is Yemaya. And so she's like on her throne as like the mother. And you can see a woman who's pregnant even kneeling down to her, like getting help. But she's saying, welcome, my child. But yeah, it's like Yemaya. I'm like, okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, what you got going on. But yeah, and I just felt like, Yamaya was just really speaking to me. She's like, you gotta like stop being afraid of change and stop being afraid of, moving on and moving forward, but stop being scared to move forward. Because I've had to move on from a lot of people, I've had to move on from a lot of places, and I wasn't scared. It's like I held on the best that I could. I held on as long as I could, but eventually I realized I had to give it up. And it's called Lord Shango. Okay, I'll take note of that. Lord Shango. And and it's like, I guess you could say I've kind of become complacent a little bit because it's like after a while you get tired of just moving on from people all the time and letting go. And sometimes you kind of dance along with, oh, I want to give them a chance, and then you do the go along, get along, and it's like, well, you don't get nothing else, like, you know what, I gotta move on from here. Excuse me. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. But I think the difference between now and a few years ago when I started moving on from people and whatnot, no problem, I just feel like I reached a milestone in my life where, it's like, okay, we got to put our big girl panties on and we got to be like a fully grown adult, because what's in my future right now is moving out on my own, having my own place, my own family, having my own life, and having other things where I could pretty much build a legacy off of. Like, that's really my dream and my goal. So yeah, but I think right now I'm just being faced with a lot of different decisions, and it's popped up in my readings too, like what I need to do. But I think I just really need to prepare myself because I've been hearing about preference and preparing for so long, and it's like, okay, we need to go ahead and do it. But yeah, these were the two cards that popped up in my reading before I had that dream. Yemaya here and here. And so, yeah, Yemaya is just pretty much saying, it's time for change, it's time for difference, it's time for a new outcome. But at the same time, use me for help. I can help you out with different things and whatnot, so don't be afraid to call on me. And I also got La Sirene as well. La Sirene is the equivalent of Yemaya, but that's beautiful. Just start to move, everything else flow. Yes. But La Sirene, okay, La Sirene and Yemaya are equivalent to each other, but they they have different names, and they have, how can I say it? They have different origins because Yemaya is black. Yemaya is Nigerian. Yemaya comes from Nigeria. But I'm not so sure about Benin because when you look at the African traditional religions that come from the Caribbean, the majority of it comes from Nigeria, but then you have the country of Benin that has influences, and then you have the Republic of the Congo that has influences, and then you also have like Ghana and other West African countries that kind of mingle in there too. So it's not all Nigerian. It's mostly Nigerian, but there's other African countries that play a part in the African traditions too. But yeah, Yemaya is Nigerian. Yemaya is most specifically Yoruban. So Yemaya is a Yoruban Nigerian spirit. You'll see Yemaya pop up in the Orishas, Lukumi or Santeria. You'll see Yemaya sometimes pop up in Haitian voodoo because with the Haitians, with their Haitian voodoo, they use the Orishas as well. They call on the Orishas because when you look at the Loas in Haitian voodoo and the Orishas, a lot of them have similar origins and similar foundations, but it's the spirits and the energies are different because from my experience of practicing Haitian voodoo, 21 divisions, which is Dominican voodoo, and with the Orishas, Haitian voodoo is strong. I want to say it's a lot stronger than the other two that I've mentioned. The Orishas are strong within themselves. I feel like the Orishas, they're like the roots. Because whenever I use them, it's like they're like boom, boom, boom. It's like if you need a good cleansing, like a good purification, especially with the seven African powers, they will clean you out. Whatever problem you have, whatever situation you're going through, hardship, they will get it done. They'll get it done fast. With 21 divisions, I feel like they're a lot gentler because they've just been so mixed. Because 21 divisions is really racially divided when you think about it. Because you have the black division, which is made up of pop of I'm trying to get it right. Papa Candelo, and you have La Lubana or Santa Marta, La Dominadora, and you have Barón de Cementerio. And that's like the black division, the spirits that come from Africa, mainly Nigeria. I know Mami Wata or La Dominadora or Saint Martha. Hey, Queen Famous, she's from Nigeria. And the colors and whatnot, according to the spirits, they vary as well, especially with like the altars and whatnot. Then you have the white division. The white division are pretty much like the Spanish or like the European saints. When you think about the Catholic saints, a lot of them have different country of origin. Some Catholic saints are Italian, some are Spanish, some are even French. And then you get to like the Indian spirits that were like the Native Americans on the island. And the 21 divisions, I noticed when I worship them, they're more gentler, but the black division, they are powerful. That's because they got the blackness. When it comes to black people and black blood, it's dominant, it's powerful. So when you use the African spirits, they're powerful. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much been my experience and whatnot between the different religions and whatnot. So, does anybody have any questions or any comments or whatnot? But I did want to show you guys my altar and whatnot. I know sometimes people say, well, you shouldn't show people your altars because people can curse your altars and whatnot. When it comes to altars, the only time I show pictures of my altars is when I'm doing work and I'm showing a client that I'm doing work for, like how it's progressing and how it's moving. Or I'll take a picture of it and I won't post it until after it's done. Because I do believe that people that want to inquire, what's going on and what are you doing and whatnot. And sometimes people can spiritually pry on you. People can do readings on you. People can spiritually pry on you, which is why it's good for you to do protection and whatnot on yourself. Because people can try to pry you open spiritually and mess with you. So now I'm going to show you guys my Yemaya altar. So when it comes to Yemaya does like pretty things. She likes eloquent things. A lot of times people will say like when you do altars and stuff that you could just put a little something here and there. I disagree because I feel like if you want your Orishas or if you want your Loas or your Mysterios or even your ancestors to really feed you and bless you, you really need to feed and bless them, because I feel like it just goes both ways. You can't ask somebody for a million gazillion dollars, but you're not going to give them the work or the time or the obedience for them to bless you with that. And I feel like the Orishas and the Lawaz and the Mysterios are like that. Okay, so here is my. I'm trying to get it so everybody can see it. Okay, yeah. So this is pretty much my Yemaya altar, and these are like the offerings and stuff that I put on her altar for her, as well as the statue and whatnot, because those are the things that she likes, and that's how I communicate with her. When it comes to Yemaya and the Orishas and the Mysterios, I pretty much give them offerings that they like, or the ones that they ask for and whatnot. Because when you bless the Orishas and when you bless the Mysterios, or even with Catholic saints, they'll bless you. And the thing about Catholic saints is that when it comes to Orisha worship and 21 Divisions worship, or even with the Loas in Haitian Voodoo, it's pretty much the same thing. And a lot of them kind of counterclockwise with each other. So I hope you all like this video. Don't forget to like, leave a comment in the comment section, and have a good day.